Hey guys, welcome to the Unknown Gaming reaction video here. Games Workshop had a lot of pretty big announcements this weekend as far as, of course, Age of Sigmar, and then, of course, Sunday also some new 40K models, some new,
New old models.
yeah, some new old models, just new ways of releasing things that they've already kind of shown us. So it's pretty exciting. Tanner and I are going to kind of go over a few things, kind of give you our thoughts on the models, and got some of the pricing this morning on the Kill Team stuff. So I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but I can tell you it's more than I thought it should be.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that price.
Yeah. Of course, we'll still be doing our standard discount that we're allowed to do on that kind of stuff. But still, I mean, not knowing when we're going to get those models individually is going to be, probably going to force people to purchase that box. But
Well, and I need to take a look at it again because if
Yeah.
it comes with an ample amount of terrain, then maybe it is worth it.
it does come with some terrain for the to make your kill team little mat, kind of like a little Necron world that you're
'Cause, I
fighting
mean,
in. And
you
it has
could-
like special rules. And
You could
stuff, too.
always use more terrain.
Yeah, because one of the big things they're also releasing with this is the kill zone, like making your actual terrain like have more to do with the game as well.
Yeah.
So, but do you want to go over the Saturday preview first?
Yeah, so I got the Saturday preview pulled up.
Okay. So of course, the Saturday preview is about an hour long. On Saturday, they kind of go over all the new models that they're bringing out, and man, did they have a lot
These
of
bone
stuff.
these bone models are cool.
Yeah. This new is he called the White
The
Knight?
white. I think he's the white king.
White King. Yeah, he looks cool. I mean, I just looked at that and I was like, that is a
And-
lot of detail on a sculpted model.
Well, and in this in the Warhammer Quest box, there are so many
Yes.
models in it.
That Warhammer Quest box, I mean, I think it has 50 models, has 42 baddies,
And eight heroes.
and 8 heroes. And man, that sucker is packed. And of course, I don't know a price point on that yet, but I would expect it to be somewhere around the 200 range US, I would think.
Well, and so one thing I am super excited about with these Warhammer Quest models and some of the other models we're going to talk about today
Yeah.
is Sigmar seems to be taking a turn to more of a traditional fantasy aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of got way out there with some of their stuff, and I understand what they were doing. They were trying to basically get to where they copyright all the IPs.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get away from your stereotypical fantasy tropes. But with some of these, with the bone dudes in this Warhammer quest,
Yeah.
like they look like something straight out of the old world. Which
Yeah,
is
it
awesome
was
to
kind of
me.
like basically the undead orc looking guys, and I mean, they just look really really cool. You had the ogre undead.
Yeah. So I think
It's
those
like a
guys
couple
are
of firsts that they've never done before.
yeah, those guys are further down. So we'll actually
Yeah, we'll
look
get
at
to
those
those.
guys in a minute. So here's the White King, which I mean, it's cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, he looks really cool.
like that. So my guess when they were showing, like leading up to the preview, they had a silhouette of these guys. So my
Yeah.
big guess was vampire counts.
Yeah, and that was
but it was pretty close.
yeah, yeah, it was a different way of being the undead there, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this guy's really sweet.
So then we get down. I'm not going to play the video.
No, yeah, that's fine.
But we're getting down.
The
with-
Luminaire was the big thing this week.
and man, I was so excited about this because I was excited about the Lumineth the first release.
Yeah, last year.
But I thought that's all we were going to get.
Yeah, and
because
I think
that's
they
what
said
they.
it basically doubled in size.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Is they'll release an army and then they're done with it.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, that's what we're going to get for at least several more years.
and these models are
But
just
I mean,
epic.
with everything they previewed in this, I think the Lumineth are now second to the Sigmarines as far as model count. Age of Sigmar White, maybe Death.
Yeah,
If you take Death overall, they have a ton, but I think Lumineth are getting up there right with the Sigmarines as far as number of models and the aesthetic of these guys. Like I was saying earlier, that really harkens back to the High Elves.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, even some of their names are straight up. These are the old world equivalents.
Yeah.
This is what people have been waiting for. They've been waiting for their old world equivalents to finally enter the game.
Yep.
So High Elf players, here you go. But we've got basically these are they're the Blade Masters.
yeah, and these guys are just dice them up, cut them up, decapitate them, as they said. I mean, these guys are sweet.
They're Sword Masters of
Yep.
Was it Sword Masters of Hoth? No, that was Lore Masters of Hoth.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I mean,
that's who these guys are.
yeah, I mean, you right away, even if you weren't playing this game, you'd look at this guy and you'd say, "Oh, he's an elf."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he
Right.
has the
He
look.
is an elf.
You've got it down. You know, I mean, they hit it, you know, right on the head. I mean, some of these models just look so stinking crazy.
The poses are real dynamic. I mean,
it's not stagnant.
they're gonna be. I mean, because the poses are so dynamic, they're gonna be mono pose. There's not gonna be much you can do with the actual kits.
Yeah,
But they look good.
yeah. I mean, it's on a table. I mean, it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what people start doing with these when they finally come out. So, great looking models. I love them. This was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
This right here. I mean, the size of the bow, the fact that it, you know, the quiver back there looks like the harp. I mean, it's just so cool. I like this a lot. Crazy to see what it's going to be as far as the way it impacts the game. So
Well, and I'm probably going to say this a lot this show, but I love how they're not trying to reinvent the wheel with these.
yeah,
They're updated to match the game, but they're still elves.
yep, yeah. It still has that fantasy aspect, the old world aspect. It's not like they're trying to update them and make them look like they're newer technology. I mean, they still look like they fit in that.
We've got
realm.
snake elves, we've got water elves. Now we have just elves.
Yep. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this one. The piece of terrain, man. You know, when the first thing I saw this, I know they have water coming out of it. I thought about like painting that red, making it look like lava.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this.
The first thing I thought is I didn't see that little piece at the back. I was like, that is gonna not stand
Yeah,
up.
I mean, it still only has 3 points of contact, right? That are actually holding it up. The 2 ponds and the big floating stone.
Rock, yeah.
But so it does look like a scary piece of terrain to put on the table. But
Well, if you watch the video, there's actually a lore master, I think, setting on the terrain.
Huh.
And so I thought it was another huge model.
like the St.
very
Catherine
first.
or the what is that? Like the Sisters to Battle one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But no, this is an actual terrain piece.
Man, that's cool. I like that a lot. And this was cool too.
This
I
guy's cool.
love the fact that their beasts don't look like anything. You know what I mean? Like everything
Right.
It still could, line up with something, but it doesn't exactly have to be something that we've thought of in fantasy before. It's like a
Right.
completely original kind of a deal.
And this is where I think they should go with the more original stuff, because I don't really care what the mounts look like or the beasts in the world, but I want my elves to look like elves. I want my dwarves to look like dwarves.
Yep.
So yeah, get original with their mounts,
Yeah.
with the beasts.
Yeah, just leave the characters alone themselves. Yeah. So yeah, but and the twins here. I mean, man, that looks. At first, when they were talking about this, I thought they were 2 separate things, and then they came back together, and it looks like it's actually just one solid model.
It's one model, and
So-
these are the twins that were. From listening to the video, it sounds like Tyrion is training them.
Yeah.
So, I want to see a Tyrion model.
Yes.
He was my favorite character from the old world. Then this is an updated lore master.
Yeah. It's basically like a wizard of sorts.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I like of course, the sword, the Tesla looking, staff that he has. These again, just another really cool model. And then I think they were saying this guy has like a paintbrush in his hand, and that paper looks like it's floating. I mean, that's again the way that they've been able to come up with models now is. I mean, to me, again, my old brain says that's going to break in 2 seconds, but it's not pewter, so it should be okay.
Right. I mean, the plastic is a lot more durable.
Yeah, and if it does break, it's a lot easier to fix
Yeah.
than pewter is. So
Yeah.
and then the
Cloud
Cloud
Rider,
Rider,
that-
yeah. My brain first went to, oh look, Goku. But yeah, again, these guys are really cool. I love to keep seeing them with this stuff, and this is apparently sculpted, so it'd be really easy for somebody to still try to mimic the painting
On the banner,
on the banner.
I love the sculpted banners because I try to freehand. Sometimes is more successful than others, but a sculpted banner helps a ton.
But that banner is literally bigger than he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is huge. I wonder how tall that actually is. We'll see.
Yeah, it's crazy to me to see the actual scale, because it's hard to imagine just from pictures.
Yeah. And then, of course, this is the non-special character version of this model. They showed us the other one last month in January. And this is just like the
They're the wind spirits. So we got the mountain spirits with the first release. These are the wind spirits.
Yep. Again, love, as we said before, we love this one. The tails and the wind and everything kind of just whipping around him is a really cool model. And then, of course, they're getting a new battle tomb. Now, they did say that if you already have one, they're going to have a way for you to get the new rules without having to buy a whole new book. So I'm curious if that's going to be like a PDF, or if it'll be like just a little small book printed out.
The Age of Sigmar app, which came out before
Yeah,
the 40K app,
it's not bad.
you have the ability of getting your tomes in there. So they might just give you a code to
Kind of upgrade.
to upgrade your digital tome.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to get that many new models, you have to have a new tome.
Yeah, I mean and it's always nice to have a new, fresh book on the.
Yeah. So now we're going to get into the Warhammer Quest models we were talking about earlier.
Well, this one's not Quest, right? He's still Sigmar.
Is he? I thought he came in the box too.
No, I think he is a standalone thing
Okay.
that they brought out. He's just a new model for the ghouls, and he's like a slaver, I believe,
Okay.
or a torturer, something like that. So yeah, but his model is, again, old me says that would break in 2 seconds, but it looks so epic. I mean, I can't. The Sigmar stuff, like I love 40K models, but the Sigmar stuff they've been coming out with, man, it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Superhero landing.
yes, that's the first thing I thought of about I went to Deadpool superhero landing. Of course, this is Sigmar as well.
You can't have a Sigmar release without Golden Boy.
Yeah, and I love the helmet version of this. I'm not a big face guy, but I think sometimes it does look cooler without the mask on. But this one, the mask just makes him look even more intense.
Yeah.
And I think if I was to pick up this model, I definitely would be going with the mask option. He looks so stinking cool.
Now, with some of these guys, especially the Sigmarines, I do like the unmasked versions, but I don't like painting faces.
Yeah, and I think with me, simpler the better on the faces. Don't try to get too hardcore on that.
I mean, my face is usually base coat and then flesh shade wash, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll go back over and do the basic T, eyebrow, nose.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
a cheekbone if it's actually, but outside of that, I keep it pretty simple. Doesn't need too much. So, and then
There's the video for the White King.
there was the White King,
Little
and he's Sigmar
detail.
as well. They already have a foot version of this, but now they have the mounted version here.
Well, and so a lot of these, the box game stuff has rules for the big game.
Yeah.
And just by looking at the design aesthetic, this guy matches the Bone Dudes in the box. So I imagine they're going to be able to play together in the big game.
Yeah. Now we're getting here to. Oh yeah, they just announced some new orcs as well for Dire Chasm, and of course you could use this at Age of Sigmar as well. It's been the first time I guess they've released any new orc stuff in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So, and these guys are pretty cool too. I'm not as big of an orc guy, probably like Tanner is with Necrons with orcs. It's just like
I like orcs in both games. I just they're more that army that you want to play for fun, but not really to play to be serious.
Yeah.
I do like the
Wolverine orc.
I like Iron Draws better than the Savage Orcs.
Yeah, I do have to say that. I do like the mechanized looking ones, yeah. I mean, these are still cool, but I do like the mechanized looking ones more. Yeah. And then, of course, a new 2-player starter box for Underworlds. It's a pretty cool thing. So it's all self-contained, everything you need to play this 2-player game here. So it's a pretty cool little thing. And then, of course, you get into the Cursed City models, the Warhammer Quest we've been talking about. This box is loaded, absolutely loaded. The board is interesting, I thought, when I looked at that. Just like the different little, I don't know if they're going to be like tiles you place and then you play around those.
It's kind of what it looks like.
If it's outfolded. But the board itself is pretty interesting. I don't know if maybe
it'd
it
be
grows
cool.
as you go.
It'd be cool if it either grows or you can change it every time you play, so it's
Yeah.
a different playing experience.
which would make for a game overall, because then every time you go to play, it's not the same thing. So
Right.
it keeps it fresh.
I mean, especially with a box game like that, you don't want it to feel like, okay, I've played it once, so I don't ever have a reason to play it again.
Yeah, but just looking at it, it looks like, wow, that little board, and you've got 50 models you're going to stick in that. So, but it looks, I mean, I'm not sure if the plastic's going to come in 2 different color molds or what like that. So if you don't want to paint it, you don't have to. But I think they've done that with a lot of these box games, so that if you're not a painter or a hobbyist, you can still pick this up and play it. But these are, I mean, the models inside of this thing are just great.
So these are
Some of the
mostly heroes.
Yeah.
I do like the look of the knight. This would also make a pretty good conversion as an Inquisitor if you wanted to take it over to 40K.
Yeah, absolutely.
This would also make a really good
Yeah,
Inquisitor.
it was at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. Way back when, I think this was 4th or 5th edition 40K, they were coming out with another, basically it was an Inquisitor game, and it was like this exact model, but, more updated. And they also had like the bigger, they were like bigger model size.
Oh, like they were like 52 millimeter
Yeah,
scale or something?
Yeah. They had huge, and that game didn't last very long, but it was a pretty cool concept. Sad it didn't stick.
Got our dwarf in here.
Yeah, this little Fellowship of the Ring here kind of going on.
Got some
There's your-
wood elves.
There's your wood elf, yeah.
This is what Brandon wants.
Yep. And it's interesting too, because these sculptors are thinking, okay, I want this to look cool, floating, flying, fleeing, whatever. But how do we have to sculpt it to where it's gonna stay together, right?
Right.
And I think that's kind of like with these elf, like you see like the hair and everything coming back to kind of strengthen the model up. So I think that's kind of interesting for me to kind of see when these sculptors are making these things, they're doing their best to make sure when they render it out finally, how's it gonna hold out?
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, this old wizard looking dude, he caught my eye. He looks pretty cool. He looks like he has no eyeballs.
Yeah, I don't
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. It was pretty cool looking. Yeah, I mean I can't wait to get my hands on this box set. It looks so cool. And this guy,
Yeah, he's
big
pretty
ogre.
cool.
He looks really epic. He's gonna punch you in the face.
I definitely think this is a game we're gonna have to play like on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm nicknaming this guy the Mountain like right now. And then here's your villains. Yeah, some crazy, a lot of the undead, bats, vampires, some kind of all that kind of stuff in here, of course.
Last I'd really followed, that's really the main antagonist of Age of Sigmar right now is death.
Yeah,
They kind of defeated chaos in the first segment of the story, and death is what they're doing right now.
well, I think it's unique in a way because as you see from these models, as we're going to scroll through them, death unites, right?
Right.
Because they're all different. They all come from different places, and they don't care.
Right.
They're dead. So you have some undead orcs.
These guys are so cool.
They are so cool. And I think they were kind of pointing out that like one of them has a keys in his hand, so you may have to like go through these guys to unlock some kind of a door.
Yeah.
I
I do love the very Russian kind of Eastern European look of these guys.
Yeah, I mean they just look like you would not want to confront these guys. It looks crazy cool.
And the bone guys.
Yep. I think it just kind of hits all those cool, really undead looks.
I do want to see these guys make it to Age of Sigmar as their own army.
Yeah.
Just because I like the look of the skeletons so much more than the ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of one of those aspects that's still missing.
Yeah.
So I think at some point they have to bring that back.
Right.
So skeleton hordes, all that kind of jazz. And I think maybe we're seeing a beginning of that with some of this stuff.
Well, I want to see basically old world with skirmish rules.
Yeah.
And
I know they kind of teased. They did that for a little bit. It just didn't really work out. And then they just basically changing the whole game.
Well, and I think it made a lot of people mad at the beginning, but then as people came to terms with, okay, we're not getting our game back, let's give this one a chance.
Yeah.
I really think that as a game, the Age of Sigmar is better, but on the lore aspect, that's where it suffers
Yeah.
because the old world lore is so much better. So maybe we'll start to get to a place where both the game and the lore that goes with it can thrive.
Yeah. And there's a lot of these,
There's a lot of. I think
Skeleton
these are
box.
the
That's-
majority
yeah.
of the.
which
your
makes
bad guys.
sense because I mean you want to be able to. You only have 8 heroes and you have 42 bad guys, so you're gonna have to be able to mow through some of these guys pretty easy, and then just have a few challenges.
Right.
So
The zombies are really cool.
yeah,
too.
this is cool. And looks like these guys are all holding something you probably need. They're kind of maybe roaming the halls, or they're doing something here that you would. I'm sure they have a pretty interesting play back into the game.
I'm gonna add these to my poxwalkers.
That would actually be pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, those are really cool. I like these guys.
Go
And
to
of
the
course the bats, and then you got the
So these
Yeah,
are
these
more
are
like
your
character
characters,
type
yeah.
bad guys.
and this was the the ogre undead. I think I said this is the first time they've ever had a model like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wolves just hanging around his neck. I mean, those are stinking awesome.
I saw this one previewed several days ago. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool too. I guess he can kind of control, and
A
he's
wizard kind of guy.
I think they called him the spider
Nice.
of the quest box. Kind of made me feel Game of Thrones when they said that.
Yeah.
Man, these models, man, they look so freaking awesome. Love them, and the big old freaking bat.
Like a werebat kind of.
Yeah, he's cool. I like that a lot. And then, of course, this guy, they showed him off last month, kind of giving us
Yeah.
a tease when they first talked about this box. And, you've seen people saying like he was the mouth of Sauron,
Yeah.
Sauron, and from Lord of the Rings, if you've seen the extended cut and gets decapitated. Or you could go to, what's that, Hellboy, when they kind of showed, I think it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
second one, they showed that angel or whatever. But yeah, crazy cool looking. I love the big shovel spade thing he's got going on, staff. Man, he's nasty looking. And
Some
yeah, these are cool
vampires.
too. Yeah,
There's actually quite a few of these guys in the box also
yeah. I
with
think there's 3 of them.
slightly different poses.
Yeah, like I think the next one's on top of the top of the pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. And then, of course, the box, it's showing you all the cards, the dice, everything you get inside of this box. And of course, I don't have a price point yet. I would still say it's probably going to range in I would say 160 to 200 range.
There's a lot of models in this box. So
If it is cheaper than that, that would be cool. I think you'd get a lot more people playing it if it was. But I mean, with 50 models in a box, and knowing 40 Games Workshop's pricing.
and then we're getting a novel with it too.
Yeah.
Which, I'm a pretty avid reader of Black Library, so I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it'll kind of give you a good backdrop behind what you're playing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at the very end of this preview, they showed the first Demon Prince. Did you see this video?
I did.
They didn't show him off all the way, but they basically teased every bit of his body except besides the full shot.
Yeah, it's going to be an updated Bellicor.
Yeah. So hopefully this will be playable across both games. It should be.
Should be, I mean, the first Bellicor is playable in both games. So.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how big he's going to be. Is he going to be bigger than Mortarion? Is he going to be... Because Demon Princes are good size, but some of these other guys are so much taller.
Yeah, so the old model is the same size as a regular Demon Prince.
Okay.
So I don't know that
I think
he
he has to be bigger than that.
he might be bigger than that, but I don't know that he's going to be Mortarion big.
Well, Mortarion tall is some of his other stuff. Now, so I don't know. We'll see. I think
So-
they want to make him look pretty epic, I would think.
Yeah, but I don't think he's on the same level as the Demon Primarchs.
Yeah.
Because both Magnus and Mortarion are big models.
Magnus is just a little bit bigger than...
They're both
Mori.
roughly. I mean, they're almost as tall as an Imperial Knight.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
So, but yeah, I mean, I would want a decently sized model here, but I don't think he needs to be just absolutely huge.
Yeah. But that was really cool little tease that they kind of ended the whole show with on Saturday, if you didn't see that. So as far as everything that they talked about for Sigmar, when they were doing this reveal video, of course, my 40K side of me said, "Come on, show us the Dark Eldar finally, because we're still waiting on that. It's almost March."
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be out in January, so
Yeah.
it's most likely coming in March. I mean, that's kind of a guarantee. That's the only other army that they have announced up to this point, so it kind of has to. But yeah, it's been pretty cool to see this stuff, and then we have Sunday's stuff as well.
Yeah, let me see if I.
So this is the stuff that they announced. It's going up for pre-order this Saturday, and it'll be on sale next Saturday. So of course we've already seen all this stuff. The Pariah Nexus box for Kill Team. It'll be the only way, so you can see how much terrain you get there.
That's not as much as the price point.
Yep. So the price point, I don't know if I'm allowed to say yet, so I'm going to wait off on that. But it is more than I expected. I was thinking maybe $20-$30 cheaper than it's priced at. But it will be the only way you get your hands on the heavy intercessors right now, and even the flayed ones if you're Necron, and of course
the heavy intercessor
captain. The only other Gravis armor captain that they've had out was one that was in the box quite a few years ago.
Yeah, Dark Pyramid. You still can't get that.
You still can't get him. So they're really making it hard for you to grab these Gravis armor captains. And then, of course, the new Necron. I know Tanner hates him, but I think he looks cool.
They're okay, but they are my least favorite of all the Xenos factions.
Yep. And then, of course, showing you the board again, and you get in a terrain, and I guess it's a Necron board. There are supposed to be like some kind of living rules with the terrain, and to make it where what you're playing at is all these different things kind of favored, I guess, maybe towards the Necrons. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what that is.
So
The mat looks like it's double sided.
It looks double sided, and it almost looks like because we have these doorways. So it almost looks like you're supposed to set them up in a certain way on the board, like corridors. But if you're going to make it a dungeon crawler, like I want the full thing to be 3D. Like give me walls and stuff to actually build.
Yeah. And then, of course, with this is coming the new Killzone book. And then, of course, the Nexus here is just kind of your update for different models as far as what's going on in the game. Like you see new stat lines and stuff they've been releasing over the last few months for 40K. But the kill zones, it looks like this is going to have something more to do with
I think these are
the actual area.
Like terrain rules.
Yeah. So kind of making it, if you do this or this, and then they have an expansion as
well.
Now,
these
are nice.
Look nice.
Yeah.
I would definitely invest in something like that because that is terrain that could be used in both 40K and kill teams.
Yeah.
And it's, granted the kill teams boards are pretty small.
Yeah.
But that's enough to cover a nice quadrant of your table if you're playing 40K.
Yeah, so this is nice. I like this, and you'll probably see us having some of this out here as we start doing kill team games on the channel. So love this stuff. This is great. And then of course this was unexpected. I really didn't expect him to release this court.
I didn't either, but these are the new old models.
Yeah. So this is basically the specialty models from the Indomitus box. I really was wondering if they were ever going to release the Judicar. I wasn't even really thinking about the Ancient because I've never really used them as far as this goes. But what's funny about this is, like, they just released the Eradicator multi-part kit. They just released the Blade Guard multi-part kit. And my guess is that these are not going to be multi-part kits. These are going to be the exact same things that are in the Blade Guard.
That's my guess. Because just looking at the Blade Guard, they're the same poses as the mono pose, easy to build kits.
Yeah. Now, if this is a tremendous price, it might definitely be worth picking up, just price point wise.
I would still take out the Eradicators and the Blade Guard, or at least the 3 characters.
Mm-hmm. Just solo.
Yeah. Even if it's a 3-pack of 3 characters, I'd rather have that than have these mono pose kits that I can get a multi-part kit for.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do with this. Like I said, it would be a cool pickup, but at the same time, like right now, it's still fresh to us because so many of us already have the Indomitus box that we're like, we don't need this.
Right, and the characters, you can only have so many of the characters anyway in your army.
Outside of playing with the Indomitus box, I've never used the Ancient and the Judicar again. So maybe I'll find a reason to use those, but
I typically try and take an Ancient, whether it's that Ancient or the other one.
Yeah.
But I don't play Space Marines very often.
Yeah.
So I still have only taken mine once or twice because I typically take my Death Guard.
Yeah. So we'll see. I know I want to start running a lot more Blade Guard, but it's kind of like, man, now that they have this new multi-part kit, I really want to kind of get my hands on those and put those together. So, and then of course with your Eradicators, yeah, the Assault versions are cool, but now you have the heavy versions and the multi-melta, and the more shots. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this does. It is cool to see him releasing it, and of course I did the same thing for kind of the Necron specialties. And again, the big guy there. I mean, they just dropped him in points, so more people are using him now. The Reanimator. So it would be interesting to know why they didn't just want to eventually. And I'm sure they will give him his own box eventually. And then you got your Scoptic Overlord and all that kind of stuff in here as well, which he is nasty. So, and then Necromunda. My brain kept saying there was another release. So Necromunda is also something we're working on getting up here at the store and starting to do bat reports and stuff like that with as well. The Necromunda models are super cool. We really like these a lot. They're so creative.
Yeah.
It's like just hanging on there.
Yeah. So
Yep. So there you go.
That's it.
So yeah, I mean, overall reaction to what we saw this weekend. What do you think, Tanner?
So the Sunday stuff I could take or leave.
Yeah.
The Saturday stuff I am unbelievably excited about.
Yeah. It's finally nice as far as what's coming up for pre-order next Saturday to finally be able to get our hands on everything that was announced so far. Mm-hmm. There's no other Space Marine stuff that they have announced with this edition that has not come out now.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting. It actually went faster than I thought it would. Overall, we're less than a year out, and they've already pumped all the Space Marine stuff out. Now there's some sister stuff that they've teased, and I'm sure there's still Primaris stuff that's missing.
It won't be that long until they announce more Space Marine stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just their bread and butter.
Yeah, they have to. So we'll see either new stuff with some of the newer kits that are going to come out, Marines, models, things like that. But
I do want them to start pumping out codexes faster, though.
Yeah, and I think that we've been having, of course, our own issues over here in the U.S., but the U.K., man, they've just been having terrible shutdowns over there. And I know that's where everything's getting made. So,
and I don't necessarily need a whole range refresh with every codex.
Yeah.
So just get the books out.
Yeah.
A lot of them are only coming with a book and a character anyway.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of new stuff. I was kind of surprised Dark Angels didn't have something else new.
I was too. I was surprised they were both Dark Angels and Space Wolves were so early in the 9th edition.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be later, and I was expecting a Primarch with at least one of them.
Yeah. I mean, we already had Ragnar's upgrade with that box last year, the Orc box. So, I mean, it's... I don't know. It's kind of like I want the books to come out so people can start feeling like they're up to date and they can play on the same table as
speaking from experience, especially I typically play Crusade, just because it's fun. You are at a huge disadvantage if you don't have a new codex in Crusade.
Yeah. So
I mean, even normal match play games, you're at a huge disadvantage.
Now you have to find there's still a couple armies like Custodes, of course.
Right.
There's a couple of them that are just kind of. Now, when they get a new book, is it going to even be just fresh art? Right.
Now I still
some of them are still good.
I still played my Death Guard this past 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because that's my main army. But I know Stetson has a pretty decent Thousand Sons army that he won't even play until they get a new book because there's no point in playing one-win Marines.
Yeah, and that's a big disadvantage I think to Games Workshop as well, and I'm sure they're feverishly over there trying to figure out how can we get, because they wanted to do 2 to 3 books a month, and you can see that from their initial rollout, and then it got canned right away because of all the stuff that's going on. So I'm sure that they're trying to figure out, okay, how can we get this going and be consistent and make sure it keeps happening with their production, with their shipping, with all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll start seeing more and more stuff soon. As far as the Saturday stuff, Age of Sigmar stuff, the Lumineth stuff looks freaking epic. Of course, the Quest box, epic. I mean,
both of those releases I could totally get behind.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get that Quest box in hand because I think it'll be a really cool, really cool game to play.
Yeah, I want to play that. I want to play it here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us on this little reaction video. We're going to try to do these more and more. Of course, Tanner and I will hopefully get more comfortable doing it, and but it's been a lot of fun. We love looking at this new stuff. We love getting this stuff in hand. Tanner's going to be doing a lot of unboxing videos as we get this stuff in hand.
We've got several Forge World boxes here to get opened up.
Some real, and Darren got more crap this weekend, so he'll have even more. So we've got some Primarchs to start looking at. We've got some big flyers to look at. So we've got some really cool stuff coming. But again,
We have the wood for our table.
yeah.
So
The studio will have a table in it pretty soon.
we're fixing it our table built. I know you ordered some battle mats.
Yep.
We've got some terrain painted here at the store. I now have my hobby table up, so I'll be painting up some more terrain.
Yeah, we've got some. I've got a lot of stuff. I don't know if you've noticed the kind of collection of terrain I've been purchasing to start putting together. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So my next trip over to, so we're currently in the new studio.
Yeah.
But a lot of our product is still in the old location.
Yeah.
So my next trip over to the old location, I want to see
Yeah,
what I need
most
to
of that
pick
stuff
up
on
to
that
take on
table-
paint.
Kind of when you first walk in, you can start grabbing the Necromunda stuff as well.
Okay.
I mean, for sure. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you know when we get new videos up. And then also, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Unknown Comic Books on Facebook, at Unknown Comic Books on Instagram.
Now,
course,
for gaming, we have a group.
Yeah, we have a
Unknown
Facebook
Gaming.
group. Yeah, look for Unknown Gaming on Facebook, and it'll ask you maybe some questions, and then if we like you, we'll let you join.
Yeah, you can get in there and you can chat right directly with us there.
Yep. And then also the Twitter, we're on Twitter at unknown_comics, and we're on Pinterest as well. So please follow us, like us, subscribe, all those fun things. Appreciate you guys watching. Tanner, any last words?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, have a good one.